Real Madrid lost to the newly promoted Cadiz. It was a 1-0 defeat. They seem to be struggling in defence and lacking offensive ideas up top as well, Shaka. Not the best way to be going into El Clasico next weekend.
No, absolutely not. Real Madrid have a Clasico. They've got Champions League football to come against newly promoted Cadiz. You'd expect a whole lot more. But like you say, Kay, for a team that dominated possession in the way that they had, I must admit, I haven't seen the full-time stats, but at half-time, it was showing Real Madrid 73% possession, one shot on target. That speaks to their lacking of ideas that you alluded to. Added to that, Sergio Ramos clears off his own line in the opening minutes of the game. Then Cadiz take a lead, which kind of speaks to Real Madrid's own kind of Jekyll and Hyde nature defensively. And Sergio Ramos's own Jekyll and Hyde nature. Despite clearing off the line early on, as I mentioned, I thought he was at fault in letting Lozano in as he got sucked in and sucked in past the ball. Negredo was exceptional as well for Cadiz. They couldn't find an answer for him. And now Real Madrid, it's still early in the season. They still can put this right. But given the performance on both ends of the pitch, you understand why Zidane won't be resting easily tonight.
No, obviously, very lackluster from Real Madrid. How much of it is down to the international break and the packed schedule right now? Because obviously we know that most of Real Madrid's players are very important for their national sides too.
Yeah, listen, Real Madrid, and we've spoken about this with not just Real, not just the Spanish clubs, but clubs and big clubs in particular throughout Europe. Uncertain summer where seasons drag on because of the pandemic, and then Champions League, short pre-seasons, and then very early on you have this international break. Real Madrid themselves, as a team, didn't meet and train together until yesterday. I believe Courtois was saying in the post-game press conference, and that tells. Maybe Cadiz didn't have as many players away on international duty, but they had the same uncertainty around their summer, around their pre-season. So everybody's having to cope with a lot of these same issues. At some point, though, you've got to recognize who you are. You've got to stop clinging to these excuses. We are talking about Real Madrid here, one of the biggest clubs in world football. We are talking about Cadiz, newly promoted Cadiz, and despite their perfect start on the road to the season, you would expect Real Madrid, regardless of pre-season or lack of it, regardless of international breaks, to steamroller over Cadiz. At the very least, you would expect an uncertain performance, but 3 points. You don't expect them to look as poor both ends of the pitch and lose to Cadiz as the way that they have. A big week to come that could be pivotal both in their own Champions League aspirations, and we've said this before, when it comes to La Liga titles, so much hinges on the Clásicos. It's more than just the classic 6-pointers as we continue to talk about. There is so much that goes into these games, not just about the points, but about momentum, about bragging rights, about confidence. And this is not a good way to start that week.
Yeah, you said it's a big week. It's a big season though, isn't it? Do you think that they need to freshen up, or do you think they have enough tools within their ranks to actually go all the way again this season in La Liga?
Listen, they certainly have enough tools within their ranks to go all the way in La Liga. Whether they refocus their sights on Champions League, we wait to see. I'm still not sure that they are good enough to topple, just one example, reigning European champions in Bayern Munich. Time will tell us as far as that goes. But Barcelona themselves, we were talking about them, and stories are around the new camp this summer, more so than Real Madrid, and more pointedly about the possible departure of Lionel Messi, and maybe Real Madrid's lack of activity in the transfer window flew a little bit under the radar. But then you've got players like Lucas Vazquez, like Vinicius Jr., who you would think are the long-term futures of this club. Again, I thought they could have offered a whole lot more on the day. Outside of Benzema hitting the crossbar, Real Madrid offered nothing in the offensive end of the park, whether it's the old stalwarts that we know and speak of so well and so often, or the new and upcoming players. Nobody offered anything.
No goals today for Real Madrid. We're hoping for a few at both ends of the pitch, though, next week at the Camp Nou when El Clasico hits the calendar in La Liga.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.